A goal without process is a wish. I hosted a networking event last week, and in that event, there were so many people who came up to me and said that how did I build a successful business, a successful life in Canada when I'm just 4 years old in the country? While there are several factors that have contributed to my success, there's one that stands out, and that's my ability to set the right goals. And that's exactly what we'll be talking about in today's video. So let's get started. In today's video, we'll be talking about three things. The first one is how I was wrong about how I used to set goals. Number two is the right way of setting goals. And number three, I'll talk about my goals, how I set them, how I create an Excel. I'm an Excel buff if you know me from my previous channel and on this one as well. I am a huge Excel fan. I make Excels for everything, and I have an Excel for making goals as well that you can actually download from the link in the description. However, let's first talk about why do I think I was wrong about setting goals. Now, earlier when I used to set goals, I used to set goals like these. So the goal was lose 20 kgs in 2024. Another goal can be make $10,000 a month in 2024. Another goal can be I want to buy a Tesla in 2024. Another goal can be I want to buy my first home in 2024. However, then I read the book Atomic Habits. If you have not read the book, I would highly recommend this book. This is an amazing book, but there's one thing about goals that this book talks about that hit me a little bit differently. If you want better results, then forget about setting goals and focus on systems. A goal without a process is a wish. What I mean by that is if I say that I want to lose 20 kgs in 2024, that's an output that I'm expecting. But there are so many other activities that I have to do. The how has to be figured out. What do I do to lose 20 kgs? Is it exercising? Is it dietary control? Is it both? All those inputs are even more important when we are setting a goal like that, which is what this quote is all about. But there is a limiting belief in our heads when it comes to goals, which is that goals lead to stress. And the reason is when we set goals, then we are actually making a contract with ourselves. And if you're not executing on everything that we listed down, we actually take a lot of stress because we know that we can do it. We know that we should be doing it, but we are not doing it. And that's what leads to stress. And that's one of the biggest reasons why people do not set goals, why I used to never set goals until I think about 7 or 8 years ago. So should you even set goals? And the answer is yes. I have tried not setting goals. I've tried setting goals. I've tried setting, the wrong kind of goals, only the goals without execution. I've done all that, but now I really truly believe, and I've talked to so many people who have been ultra successful, that you need to have goals because a goal acts as your life compass. It gives you a reason to wake up in the morning, because if you're not walking towards something, we are not walking towards anything. But one thing that I've changed in the last few years is that I do not always set measurable goals. Yes, there are certain things that I want to do. Yes, they are time bound. Yes, I'll set deadlines, but I'll not always have goals which are measurable. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Now let's go back to the previous slide where I talked about the 4 goals. And like I said, these goals are incomplete. And the reason is that these are just outcomes. What's missing is the input. What's missing is the process. So there are 2 things that you need when you actually are setting goals. One is why, because that is a motivator. If I say that I want to lose weight and if I don't have a strong why associated with it, I would not wake up in the morning and go to the gym. I would tempt myself in having that cheat meal, because let's be honest, cheat meals are fun, and getting up in the morning and going to the gym is not, at least not for me. So if I don't have a strong why against my goal, it's very likely that I'll slack on it and not achieve those goals. And the second most important factor is the how, the process. Merely saying that I want to make $10,000 a month is not enough. The how is important, the process is important, the systems are important. So let's take the same example, losing 20 kgs in 2024. So the why would be that I want to live longer. That's a very strong why. Another why is more physical, where I have a backache and losing weight will help me. Maybe the doctor has said that. Maybe the backache is getting worse because of the weight. So that becomes a strong why. Another one can be I have high cholesterol, I have high diabetes, which actually ties into the first one, I want to live longer. But again, these are very strong motivators for you to get up in the morning and go to the gym, exercise, eat healthy. These are very, very strong motivators. Now the how here would be that I want to exercise 4 times a week. And that's a contract that I made with myself. And that's a very actionable thing. That's an input that you're putting. Whether you achieve the 20 kgs or not, that's an outcome. Whether you achieve 15 kgs, 10 kgs, 12 kgs, you are still closer to your goal if you do this. I need to complete 10k steps a day. These are just examples, right? Yours can be very different. And I only have 1 cheat day a month. Now, when you put this into process and we only focus on these 3 inputs, the outcome would not be very far. Let's take another example of a goal where making $10,000 a month is a priority in 2024. The why is I want to retire my parents. So you need to again have a very strong why. Or it could be that I want to buy my dream car, my first house, or I want to invest $2,000 a month in stock market for better retirement. It could be anything that is strong enough to motivate you to make $10,000 a month. But again, it's incomplete because we have a goal, we have the why, but we do not have the how, we do not have the process. So let's say you're a fitness instructor or you're into fitness and you say that I would make 4 deals a week, 2 flex videos and 2 informative videos in order to reach more people, and then they render my services. Or if you're a developer, you say that I will share my work with 5 people on LinkedIn every single week. And by doing that consistently, you will get 2 or 3 contracts that would get you closer to your $10,000 a month goal. Now let's talk about another goal that I had for this year, for 2023 and 2022. And I said that I want to have less one-to-one calls in my calendar. Now I'm a mortgage agent and obviously I'm doing a lot of one-to-one calls. I'm doing a lot of discovery calls, but I felt that I'm doing so many calls, I could have spent more time in creating content. And therefore the goal was to free up my time in doing those discovery calls so that I can create more content and still get the same output in terms of the money, in terms of the mortgages that I'm doing. That should not go down. Now it sounds like an impossible goal where I'm saying that I want to make more money or I want to service more clients in mortgages, but I still want to do less one-to-one calls. It's counterintuitive, but let me break it down. The why is I want to concentrate on making more content because I really feel that this is something that I enjoy the most. Mortgages is something that pays my bills, but content, helping people, calling them when they close their house and they're entering the house for the first time, that's what gives me a high. I wanted to concentrate on doing that more because that makes me happy. And another why was that I want to concentrate on my coaching business, which is Grow Nation, which I just launched in December. Watch out for more on this in the next year, but you can already go to grownation.ca to see what's coming next. So these are strong whys that I have for reducing my one-to-one calls on mortgages. The biggest process item was to hire and train a team of 6 people. So we have 4 salespeople now and 2 underwriters. The 4 salespeople are spread across BC, Alberta, Ontario, and Nova Scotia. This way I'm able to scale coast to coast. This is a really big win, because not only I'm able to make more content and get more leads, but these amazing agents that I've trained personally are able to do the eligibility at the first go. And then for serious clients who want to buy a house, we have a strategy call with me where we build a much deeper strategy and we are able to ensure that this client makes no mistake and they are able to make money long term. But hiring a sales team is not enough. You also need to standardize the processes. So this year, for the last 6 months, I've been standardizing all the processes, all the way from sales pitch to the document collection. If you have been a client, you would know that we have a very standard form of how we collect documents, how we underwrite deals, and at the back end, how we talk to the lenders, how do we talk to the appraisers. It's very, very standardized, and therefore there are no hiccups and no one drops the ball whether I'm involved in the process or not. And part of this process was also Simran leaving her job and building those systems for me. And now because I'm spending less time upfront and I'm only working with clients who are serious about buying a house, I'm able to free up more time to make more content. And now I know for sure that if I get 3 times the leads next year, I have the team who can handle that. Now, if you look at this goal, it sounds like impossible. I want less one-to-one calls in my calendar, but at the same time, I want to increase my business. And I can now say for the last 6 months, I have done less calls and our business has increased 60% this year, despite it being a slow market. Now, I'll tell you the reason for that. I had a mentor who used to say that success is a 5-step process. The first one is we define goals. The second one is we encounter problems. The third one is we diagnose the problem. The fourth one is we design a plan. And the fifth one is we execute. The problem is that we stop at encountering problems. Whenever we define a goal, let's say my goal was, or your goal is that you need to make $10,000, $20,000 a month in 2024, or you want to start a business, that's your goal, or whatever that goal is, we actually sabotage that goal by overwhelming it with problems. Let me give you an example. I want to earn $10,000 a month. Let's say that's your goal. But we overwhelm this goal by problems. I don't have time. I don't have skills. I don't have a mentor. I don't have money. We have so many reasons of not being able to do it that we don't take a pause and think that these problems are obvious. Whenever you have a goal, we'll have problems. If there are no problems, then the goal is not big enough and it's not worth achieving. So instead of saying that we don't have time and therefore we cannot make $10,000 a month, you ask yourself, how can I make more time? We need to ask the right questions. We need to ask, how can I earn $10,000 a month? Instead of saying that these are the reasons why I cannot do that. Instead of using these problems as an excuse to not achieve the goal, we forget that there are 3 more steps and they are all related to encountering the problem in order to achieve success. Because if you have a goal, you'll always have problems and you'll always have to diagnose, you'll always have to design a plan to overcome that problem, and you execute, and that's how you achieve what you started doing. That's how you achieve your goals. So the next time you set a goal and you have a problem to encounter, that's okay. All you need to do is diagnose that problem, get to the root cause of that problem, see if you can design a plan to overcome that problem, and that is something that would put you closer to achieving your goal. And I'll talk about this in greater detail in the next slide. Now let's talk about my goals for 2024, and I've actually divided this into 5 buckets. One is an income goal, the second one is an investing goal, the third one is a spending goal because it's very important to spend money, enjoy as well. Then is a physical health goal, and the fifth one is mental health goal. And let me go to my Excel now. Now this is a really simple Excel. I'll actually link the format of this in the description. You can make your own as well. It doesn't matter as long as you have it on paper. That's the most important thing. That's the other thing, right? Sometimes we have goals and we don't put it on paper because we feel that goal is, if the income goal is to make $10,000 a month, that's it, right? You will always remember that goal, or you'll probably write it on it, but you have to break it down and make sure that you have sub goals. Under that, you have the right inputs and you are working towards those inputs in order to achieve the outcome of making $10,000 a month. But let's talk about my goals. These are real goals that I made last week, and I'll talk about that one by one. Now, the first income goal that I have is to do $150 million in mortgages this year. Now, $150 is not revenue. These are all the funded mortgages, all the loans, $150 million worth of loans, that we do. This is about 200 to 250 families that we'll be helping. But the why is that I really want to help 200 families move into their first homes, because I really get a good feeling when people send picture of their keys to me on the phone when they're closing a house. So I love that feeling that I have, that I was a small part in their massive decision, and I was able to help them make a really good decision, and I'll obviously be helping them making more decisions as well. I also want to help 50 investors to buy their first investment properties. That's a pretty decent focus that I have for next year. Help the entire team to make 6 figures in income. That's a really big responsibility that I have, because I know that I have built a team and I also need to do well by them. So I would love, if they are able to make 6 figures plus in income next year. So that's a strong why that I have. It's not a how, right? This is the reason why I would build more content. This is the reason why I would train them. So this is my why. And the fourth why is more of a personal target of achieving a 6-figure passive income, because now that I'm a team lead, there will be a lot of income that is passive to me. Now, all this is great. This will help me wake up in the morning. This will help me make content. But like I said before, the how is also very important. The inputs are important. And one of the major inputs will be that I need to generate 5,000 leads, and at a 5% conversion rate, we'll be able to achieve our goal. Then I have to make at least one YouTube video every single week that will help with generating the 5,000 leads. I'm also working on an ebook for first-time home buyers, which is almost in the works. It will launch in January, and that's something that will also help with the lead generation. I'm also launching 2 lead generation programs that you will come to know of in a couple of weeks time. Then for the existing clients, I have so many courses that will be free next year. One of them will be building a side hustle academy. Now this will be a pretty expensive course if you're not a client, but this will be absolutely free of cost for my clients, because I really want them to do well, because they trusted me with their mortgages, and I have to make sure that I make them money long term. Then for my clients, there are group coaching calls that happen every single month, and that I want to continue through 2024. And hopefully, if you're generating so many leads, I'll have to hire one more mortgage agent, and that's another action item that I have. And then I want to lease an office in Kitchener, because it will allow us to do a lot better. It will allow our systems to thrive a little bit more. Plus, from a personal work-life balance, it's very important that you segregate now. Right now, I'm living in my basement or working out of my basement, but it will just bring a little bit more discipline to the way we work. Plus, it will be better if I work with the team in the office. We just bounce off each other while we are in the office. Now, before I go to the next goal, you also need to make sure that you have 3 or more columns. One is time. So for example, 5,000 leads, that's an ongoing thing. One YouTube video, that's an ongoing thing. Launch the ebook, because it's a definite item that we need to launch on our website. I have a timeline of January 2024. Hopefully it will launch by then. Then the lead generation programs will also happen in January 2024. In fact, I'm shooting one, today. The High Side Hustle Academy will happen in March 2024. Monthly group coaching calls will start in March 2024. Hire one mortgage agent will be December 2024. This is the end of the year. Hopefully, we are busy enough to be able to do that. And lease an office in Kitchener, that's December 2023. It's not a mistake. I've already signed the lease for that, and therefore I have been able to. The goal was to start doing this in January, but I was able to find a really good office, and therefore we have already done this. and we are starting in March. So I'm very excited to move into the office, renovate the office. Yeah, super excited for that. More on that on Instagram. If you have not followed us, please do that. That will be super amazing. Now, the second income goal that I have is generating $5,000 of gross revenue in my Grow Nation coaching program. We'll talk about that. I'll talk about that on this channel, a little bit more. But my idea around this is the reason why I want to get into one-to-one coaching is because I want to change 100 lives, and the only way to do that truly, changing someone's, income, changing someone's real estate investing journey, all that can happen one-to-one, because I've seen with me when I have one-to-one mentorship programs, like when I take coaches, or I hire coaches, it actually changed my life much more than, when I'm watching the YouTube videos, because then it's much more personalized and it's much more relevant to me. I also want to achieve a personal money goal of $100,000 a month. That's just a personal thing. I don't think I'll be able to spend $100,000 a month. It'll be good to invest that and, retire a little bit early. But that's a personal money goal. And that's the reason why I want to start this, Grow Nation and achieve this gross revenue. So that's the why that I have. For that, I need to put in a few inputs, right? So I need to build and launch the mastermind. And that's something that we will be doing on April of 2024. I think we'll be able to do a little bit earlier, but only because I'm in India for 1 month. I'm taking a break. And that's where, I've kept the timeline for April 2024. Start Grow Nation weekly newsletter. That's something that will start in January 2024. So if you have not subscribed to the weekly newsletter, it's completely free. That's something that you should do, because there'll be so much value in this newsletter, whether or not you, go through my coaching program or not. There'll be so much few value that only by consuming that you can actually change a few things in your life, and you can probably benefit out of it. So do subscribe to the newsletter from the description below. This will start happening in January 2024. Then I want to learn how to run ads, because I feel that that's something that I've never done. All my growth, whatever we have earned, it's all been organic, but I really want to learn how to run ads on Facebook, on Google, Instagram. I just want to make sure that I have that skill. Whether I use it or not, that's a different thing. And that's something that I want to do by June of 2024, and invest in a mindset money coach. Now, I might be coaching a lot of people, but once you reach a certain level, you have a mind block of how do I go to the next level. Let's say I make $1 million a year or $100,000 a month. I don't know how to scale that to $10 million. So that's where I need a mindset and money coach, because I really feel that, someone who has already done it would be able to accelerate my journey a lot faster. So that's something that I need to do by March of 2024. And then again, I have timelines, attached to it, and then I have effort attached to it. Now I'll talk about effort versus impact in a bit. I'm just, deliberately not talking about it right now, but let's talk about my next goal. That's the investing goal. So income goal is done. There too. Then we have the investing goal, which is invest $250,000 in discounted assets. Now I talked about this in detail in my previous video. So do watch that video if you have not done that. It'll be linked in the description below. But the reason is that I want to get a step closer to financial independence. So that's a pretty strong why. That's very close to me. And for that, I want to learn and start investing in India, because one thing that a lot of people have said, in the past is that why don't you invest in India? It's not about why. It's not about I don't like India. It's just about my time. So now that I have a little bit more time, I want to learn and start investing in India as well. Even if I'm doing, little by little, I'll talk about that. If I take this step, I'll obviously talk about that on this channel. So do subscribe to the channel if you've not done that, because there's more content coming on, in my investing journey through 2024. I want to keep scouting for real estate in US and Canada. I've been doing that last year as well. I've been investing, but I want to do a little bit more, this year. Now, the reason why this particular input is part of my investing goal is because that's investing in my business. So I did a Grow Nation event, like the first annual event with 400 people this year in December, on December 9th. And the next one I really want to do with 1,000 people in Toronto Convention Center. That's something that the venue that I have in mind. But again, I've just, given some timelines and given, the effort versus the outcome that I have. Then I have a spending goal, and this is something that is a personal project where I want to buy a lake cottage and a jet ski. Now, everyone has something that they want, to spend money on. Some shop, some I just have expensive, dreams. So I want to buy a lake cottage and a jet ski, and that's something that I put it here. Now, whether or not I achieve it or not, that's different, right? My why is for fun, aspirational. That's something that I always wanted to do. Jet skis, I just always, I'm fascinated. And In order to achieve that, the input is that I need to reach and in fact exceed all my income and investing goals. And only then I'll spend money on this with access money if I have it. So it's okay not to achieve this. It's okay not to buy the jet ski. All I'm saying is that my why is fun and aspirational, and my how is I'll do this only if I achieve all the other things that we talked about in the previous two buckets. Now I have a physical health goal, which is losing 10 kgs. I am 95 kgs right now. I really want to be 85 kgs. Lower than that, I'll be very skinny. I already know that because I have been, lower than 85 kgs, but that's something that I want to do. But my why is very strong. For the first time, I know what I want to do all my life. I want to teach all my life. I want to run Grow Nation for the next 40 years, but I'll only be able to do if I live long enough. Obviously, I go out, I, hit a car, get into an accident, all that can happen. But I really feel that, if, I can exercise and I can keep myself fitter, I'll live longer, and then I'll be able to do more of what I love. The inputs will be exercise 4 days a week. I'm already doing that. Sometimes I don't do it, sometimes there are missed weeks, but, I want to be more regular doing that. Only 2 cheat days, a month. I deliberately do 2. I don't like 1 because I, really feel that, I'll do one on the 15th day, I'll do one on the 30th day, something like that. I have not, really planned it out, but yeah, I don't want to do more than 2 cheat days a month. And then I want to start playing squash at least once a week, and that's something which is very close to me, as a sport. I've played squash, a lot of my life, and I want to start doing that again. And again, I set some timelines here. And then there's a mental health goal where I want to be more peaceful and enjoy the present. And that's something that I've not done in the last, 3 or 4 years. I've always been chasing, one project after the other, and that has led to burnout. So that's my why. This year, I do not want to burn out. I have burnt out in 2021, 2022, 2023. I do not want to burn out this year, and I want to be happier. And for that, I will be taking 1 weekday off, like in my calendar. It's already off. Every Friday, I'll be spending time with Simran. Me and Simran will go out. I am hiring a therapist, and that's something that from January to 2024. I also. Yeah, it's just, good to cleanse your mental state as well. And I really feel that, a therapist would help me do that. No phones from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. That's something that I have slacked in the last 6 months, and I regret it. I do not take my phone in the bedroom. I do not use my phone until 8 a.m. in the morning, and I want to continue doing that in 2024. It actually has helped me not watch, a lot of reels and waste my time in the bed and get up early and, start the day. Take 2 1-week chill vacations. When I say chill vacations, it's like Mexico, Punta Cana, some stuff like that, easy stuff. I don't want to work. I don't want to do a city trip. And then I want to continue meditating for 30 minutes every single day. And these are my breakdown of my input goals that I have in order to achieve the overarching, outputs that I want. Before I end this video, I also want to talk about effort versus impact. The reason why I say high, mid, and low effort is because then I can actually put, like let's say I do low effort. Now, these are all the things that are very low effort. Launching an ebook, it's almost done. It'll just take me a day to launch this. So it's a low effort, but high impact because it'll give me ongoing leads. Launch 2 new lead generation program. For me, it's a low input because I just need to create a reel. My team would obviously, it'll be high, effort for them. But for me, it's a low effort thing. And I just need to build those reels and build those programs. Monthly group coaching calls is something that I've been doing. So it's a low effort for me because it's already in the process. Scout for real estate, that's my job. So, that's a low effort thing. And high impact, obviously, if I get into good real estate, I make a lot of money. No phones 10 p.m. to. So these are all the things that are very low. I can actually start doing it tomorrow, and it'll take me a day to do it, but the impact will be very high. Then there are certain things that require a little bit more effort. So I'll just go to mid effort. And then, obviously, leasing an office, it's a dollar effort that I need to put in. Obviously, I'm committing, $2,000, $2,200 a month towards the office. I need to make 1 YouTube video. It's a lot of work when you do that. Start investing in India. I have never done that in the past. So these are all the things which are mid effort for me, but the impact again is very high. And then if I talk about, high, effort, both in terms of dollar amount or the physical effort that is required and high impact, then generating 5,000 leads is massive, right? So that's a really high effort activity that I need to do. Start Grow Nation weekly newsletter. It's a commitment. Every week I'll have to make that, and I want to do that myself, and therefore it's a high effort for me. Reach all income and investing goals so that I can buy the jet ski and the lake cottage. So all this is really high effort things, but they need to be done. Now, I do not have anything which is low impact, medium impact, in the impact column. And the reason is that I really don't want to do those activities which are not high impact, especially in 2024. That said, you can be different, and you would want to sometimes do certain activities. For example, for 2025, I really feel that I want to learn to play guitar. And there's no impact, right? This is something that I just wanted to do always, right? So for 2024, I have my hands full and I'm not doing that. Maybe, I'll have more time, or goals will change. But if you are one of those, who wants to do something, for yourself, and it's not really high impact in terms of money or anything, but it gives you happiness, do that, right? So you don't always have to have high impact activities here. But for me, for this year at least, it's all high impact activities. Now, the other thing is that you don't fill this once and forget it. You need to update, put it in your calendar that you need to do a goals update every single quarter. So for March, June, September, December, I'll sit and I'll do the Q1, Q2 and Q3 and Q4 update, and I'll make sure that I am holding myself accountable to these goals. I'll link this Excel in the description below. It's not a crazy Excel. You'll have everything that I just discussed in that particular Excel. You'll download it and you can make it your own. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, do share it with a friend who also likes making goals, who also wants to get ahead in life, and do subscribe to the channel if you have not done that, because there are more amazing videos coming in 2024, including 2 really good interviews that I've done in the last 1 week. I'm super excited to share those with you. मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए बाय बाय।